reviews. So somehow in 50 plus episodes, I've never talked about the holodeck or holosuites. So let's do that now. This is Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Our Man Bashir. So the episode opens with an en media res sequence of Bashir on the holosuite playing his signature character. Bashir, Julian Bashir, a James Bond wannabe super spy.
Forest. Crowforest.
He has just knocked his rival Falcon through a glass wall and is about to pour himself a glass of wine when he sees Falcon getting up reflected in the wine bottle. And he shoots the cork at him, knocking him out. Because this is that kind of fantasy. Physics be damned. But then Garrick has to go and ruin everything by walking in.
Breaking into a holosuite during someone's program is not only rude, it's illegal. I should call Odo and have you arrested.
Yeah, you probably should have him thrown in the brig. Why are you not doing that? So, anyway, Garrick manages to convince Bashir to let him stay through some rather twisted Cardassian logic, because, well, if he didn't, we wouldn't really have a plot.
I can see I'm gonna regret this.
You don't already?
Don't worry, Doctor. We're going to have a wonderful time. After all, what could possibly go wrong?
Well, pretty much everything now that you've said that. Congratulations! You are now responsible for every bad thing that happens in this episode, Garrick. And speaking of bad things happening, cut to bad things happening. Sisko, Kira, Dax, Worf, and O'Brien are on a runabout that suddenly explodes, so Lieutenant Eddington has to beam them out. But the transport doesn't complete, so they're stuck in the pattern buffer, where Odo and Eddington have to quickly use technobabble to store their patterns.
The buffer's lost coherence. The patterns are gone. Did the computer save them in time?
I think so, but I'm not sure where.
Well, it turns out that they were stored to the holosuite. And so now Bashir has to keep the program running and make sure that none of them die, as that would likely erase their patterns. But no pressure or anything. So Kira, or rather the image of Kira, tells Bashir about her latest mission, even letting him know that her government has agreed to cooperate with his for the duration of the mission.
My government and yours have decided to cooperate.
Wait, the Bajoran government agreed to cooperate with the Cold War-era United States government? I didn't think we'd even made contact back then. Oh, you mean the Russian government. You have a thing on your nose, it's throwing me off. So it turns out that someone has been causing earthquakes with the new technobabble machine.
In the last 24 hours, a series of earthquakes have struck cities from Vladivostok to New York.
With science! And so it's up to Bashir to find out who's doing it and put a stop to it. Well, gee, I sure hope it's not any of the 5 officers.
Honeybear is killed. The computer will erase her character from its program. Now, since the program thinks that Dax is Honeybear, the computer would actually be erasing Commander Dax's pattern.
Awkward. And then, just to make matters worse, Falcon re-enters the scene. Only now his image has been replaced by that of Miles O'Brien. Double awkward. And then Kira tries to kill O'Brien. Triple awkward. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that. This is a really awkward episode. But enough of that scene. Cut over to the single greatest line in all of Star Trek history.
Where's the core memory interface?
Oh. It's right behind a spatula.
Truly legendary. In fact, this one line is so good that when I was filming a Star Trek parody a few years ago, I went out of my way to make sure that there was a spatula in the random tech components. Not that you can really tell in the final product, but still, it's there. Because of this one line. It's that good.
Don't pretend like you know what I'm going through. You have no idea what I'm going through.
I was frozen today. Well, that's the review right there. I don't even remember what else was happening in this episode.
I'd like to see Dr. Noah. I have an invitation.
Oh, right, the holosuite. I should probably finish this. So Bashir goes to a club that's apparently owned by Dr. Noah. No, I don't think it's that Dr. Noah, but that would be pretty awesome. So they're led into the club, where it turns out that Worf is the security guard outside of Dr. Noah's lab. Okay, I know I said I was going to stop saying awkward, but I at least need an awkward counter. So Bashir decides to play poker, or baccarat, or Fizbin, or whatever it is, to win the money he needs to get in to see Dr. Noah. And of course he wins, so he, Garrick, and Kira are all taken up to see Dr. Noah, who of course has the form of Cisco.
My name is Hippocrates Noah.
So Cisco starts monologuing about his evil plan, wherein he intends to flood the Earth, so that only his mountaintop resort on top of Mount Everest will remain above water, making him, well, Noah.
I am going to let mankind begin anew in this island paradise. The only place that will remain above water.
Wow, that's not even clever. You have a character who plans on rebuilding the world after a global flood, and you call him Noah? Was obvious symbolism make obvious space too obvious? So Cisco, or rather Dr. Noah, ties Garrick and Bashir to one of his subterranean laser cannons and sets a 45-minute timer for when the laser will go off, filling the cavern with magma. Oh no! How are they gonna get out of this one? Find out tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. So Dax, as Dr. Honeybear, comes down to the caverns to make some last-minute adjustments. Even though the timer was already set, so really what was even left to adjust? But, oh well. The needs of the plot outweigh the needs of the logic.
The needs of the plot outweigh
the needs of the logic.
Shut up, I'm talking.
I must say, Doctor, this is more than I ever wanted to know about your fantasy life.
And yet you're the one who broke in here insisting on learning about his personal life, despite how hard he tried to get rid of you. So I can't really feel sorry for you, Garrick.
I'd give you both some privacy if I could. Great plan. Now, can we call Eddington?
That will not be necessary.
And of course, Bashir gets the key. And not a moment too soon, either.
Come on.
Wait, so not only did Dax go down to the caverns to make last-minute adjustments that didn't need to be made, but she literally left less than a minute before the cavern was scheduled to be filled with molten magma? Why? What if she tripped? Or, I don't know, got distracted by an impromptu love scene? Just throwing that out there. But on the other hand, this is a James Bond-style super spy holosuite program, so I guess the characters are programmed to be stupid. That does kind of make sense, actually. So Bashir and Garrick run through the cave system to get away from the magma, but Garrick decides that he's had enough.
There comes a time when the odds are against you, and the only reasonable course of action is to quit!
Garrick starts to call for the doors, but Bashir shoots him in the neck in order to prevent him from potentially killing the 5 officers trapped in the holomatrix.
What if you killed me?
Makes you think I wasn't trying.
I do believe there's hope for you yet.
So with Garrick suddenly having a newfound respect for Bashir, the two of them make their way back up to Dr. Noah's control room, where Bashir just has to stall for 2 minutes in order to give Nog and the engineering team time to beam the crew members out of the holosuite matrix. Bashir takes a page out of Garrick's book, and he tells Dr. Noah that he's only alive today because he has known when to walk away.
How do you think I've managed to stay alive so long? When all of my compatriots are dead, it is because I have known when to walk away.
And then he takes it a step further, and he actually activates the laser drills, destroying the world, and thus stalling just long enough for Eddington to beam out the missing crew members. And so, Bashir and Garrick can finally leave the holosuite. So that was our Man Bashir. How was it? That was a pretty good episode. Trapped in the holodeck episodes are always a lot of fun, and this one gave us the best line ever. Well, that's all for now.